You've mentioned before that you've met Trump.
I met Trump.
When did you meet Trump?
I met him around like pretty much like a small fundraiser in my neighborhood. He came and did a comedy show on stage. It was very entertaining, and he raising money, and that was before he lost. Listen, we know what Trump's problem is. Okay, he's a New Yorker, and he's not perfect, and he's got issues, and he grew up as a playboy. He came from a rich family, and he did big time shit. But he's a deal maker. Did he make all the best deals? Probably not. Nobody does. I've made bad deals too. But he's a deal maker, and he's got balls, and we might be able to get 4 years left out of him because he's already 77 years old. And the other guy's a walk-in corpse, I'm sorry to say, nothing personal. But Trump will get respect, okay? Because he will bullshit and bluff as much as Putin, and as much as Kim Jong-un, and as much as the other guy in China or Korea, ping pong, and the Middle Easterns. Come on, the Middle Easterns, you didn't hear shit of nobody. The world was quiet when he was president. Why? Because we need a cuckoo to deal with cuckoos, and he'll play their bluff, and he'll stand up to them, and we won't look like weak idiots. We destroyed Afghanistan. Mm. That's disgusting. We just packed up and left. All our there, we just packed up and left. Why? We left there with our tail between our legs, or we gave it to the Talibans. I thought the Taliban were the terrorists. Okay, weren't they behind the World Trade Center? Come on. They're all nuts. We turned it over to them. Now women are pets. Women can't leave their house. When we were there, women were working. Women were going to school. Women could be in society. A woman cannot leave their house in Afghanistan right now under their religious law, without a man being there with the man, their man. They can't go to school. They can't go to work. They can't do shit. That's the way these people are living, like it's thousands of years ago when women are like just your slave. It's sickening. It's disgusting. Yeah. And Trump had all that quiet, under control, and making improvements to the world. And interest rates were low. And we weren't perfect. We'll never be perfect, but I think we were better off then. We were much than we are now.
What do you think about the fraud? What do you think about the fraud case with him overestimating the value of his assets?
It's just, if you're involved with the bureaucrats, they have unlimited resources, and the problem with Democrats is they're personal. A Republican don't give a f. It's business. Typically, business guys, people in business, it's business. They take it personal. Their politics is personal politics. And they have unlimited resources and all their cool gang to fucking hang with them to go after. All right, this guy, we're against this guy. Everybody's against him. So they're going to fuck with him. It's totally ridiculous what they're saying. He valued his property at less than what the tax assessor's office is saying. For tax purposes, everybody fucking wants the cheapest property tax. It's really bullshit. Don't mix his business with his politics. If you go to every fucking house in this country, it's going to be valued at less than what they could sell it for. Everybody. It's a fact. We all know that. It's the way it is.
Yeah. Well, I think their argument was that he
purposely value them less, even in their formula.
But their argument was that he overvalued his properties.
Between him and the banks. Yeah. The fucking government's not loaning them money, so what do they give a fuck?
True.
The bank did appraisals. The bank has a risk tolerance. The bank is in business. It's strictly, there's too much government involvement. The government should have no say between a person and the bank borrowing money. All right, they got regulations so nobody can take advantage of them, whatever, but they're protecting the banks. They're protecting their banks by doing this, right?
Their argument, again, I'm not saying I agree with this, but their argument is that it gave him an unfair advantage over other people by him showing more assets than he actually had, getting more money, and that...
There is no other people. It's between you and the bank. Whatever deal I cut with Bank of America or Merrill Lynch or whoever the fuck I'm borrowing money from is between me and them. They have a risk tolerance for me. And if they want to loan me money at really cheap rates, why? Because they feel that's the deal they need to cut with me to get my business. It's a very personal thing. Just like his tax return is a personal thing. It's between him and the IRS. That's it. All these other fucking politicians should mind their own fucking business. It's none of their business. Worry about your own business. And if he ain't hurt nobody, don't worry about his business. He didn't really break any fucking laws, in my opinion. All he did was negotiate with the bank and made himself, look like he felt he looked, which is really some defense to that. They were trying to label Mar-a-Lago worth stupid little money. Come on, it's ridiculous. It's nonsense. It's personal politics. They hate the guy. And really, if he would have tried to tone it down a little and try to get along more with people, okay, he could have prevented a lot of it. He really could have. Sometimes you can learn to get along with people and still not be on the same side of them.
Do you know if it was ever confirmed true that he buried, I think it was like an ex-wife at a property to be able to call it a cemetery for the tax? Is that not true?
I never heard of it. I grew up in New York. I don't know any stories about cemeteries and burying people. I don't know how he built all that in New York. How the fuck can a guy, you can't get away with building all that in New York unless you can deal with the mafia. If he can deal with the mafia back then, especially with concrete and garbage and getting shit built, he knew how to make deals. He's a deal maker, and we need him. Is he perfect? No. Is he a womanizer? Maybe. I don't know. Is he a big shot, big ego guy? Yes. But that's what we need, because the rest of the world are nuts. You always feel like one thing. He cares about the country. He's proud to be American, and that's what we need. Somebody that's, our gunslinger to deal with Putin and Korea and China and the Middle East and all these wackos.
What policies do you think would help the United States in terms of taxes, the national debt?
Apply logic, whatever's logical. Okay, let's look at a logical situation. Okay, can a person afford to pay taxes on certain income levels? Make sure it's affordable, and the rich people should contribute their percentage that they should pay, just like everybody should pay the same to me.
You think a flat
tax really is the
I've
way to
always
go.
thought of a flat
because
tax.
this way it's fair. You get over your ass and make more money, that's fine. You pay the same tax. If you make $1 million, you pay $250,000. If it's 25% flat tax. If the next guy makes $100,000 a year, you got to pay $25,000. Of course, you got your deductions and all that shit. So that guy really ain't going to pay $25,000. I mean, I like a flat tax. You work, you pay a tax. That's it. We're all equal. But I don't know. It's good and bad to everything. I'm not an expert in that stuff. But I just think we need to apply logic, and we need to keep not just think. We need to have relations with all these cuckoos in the world because they can fucking destroy the world. And then, plus, it bothers me to watch destruction on TV. War makes no sense. It's inhuman. It's illogical. Destroying buildings, destroying families, hurting people, unnecessary dying. For what? It's a fucking money problem. Throw money at it. Throw money at the problem. Why do we have to, we're still so violent? I mean, it's crazy. And if we don't have somebody that can keep these motherfuckers in check from fighting in wars and all that shit, then we're in trouble, and Biden can't do it. That's clear. The point with Trump is this. I'm not a big trumpeter. New word, trumpeter. Yeah. It's just that I've seen what he's done. I've experienced it. I base my logic on logic. He was president for 4 years. The world was quiet. I was making money, and I think we were moving in the right direction. We were in a lot better shape. I base it on history and facts. So why wouldn't it be different? Why wouldn't he just do the same job again?